Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's George. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I've done a video, but with the current events going on in the world, I thought, I would take the time to do something. Um, as most of you may know, if not, you can check the video out in my other videos. I used to work for Acme Markets for 10 years. I currently would now work at Giant. Um, so, it's kind of the same thing, but, a job's a job. Um, I just wanted to kind of do something referring to the COVID-19, aka the coronavirus. I kind of just wanted to talk about how it affects people in retail, some of the things that I've seen. Um, this isn't a bad video. This isn't meant to talk negative about grocery stores or anything like that, but today's June 2nd. I just looked this up right before the video. The total U.S. cases are 245,080. The current deaths are 6,075. And the recovered are 10,403. One thing I read in an article in the New York Times earlier, I'm not sure if it was from today's, but it's relatively recently, but it had said as many as 25% of infected may not show symptoms. I would just like to start off by saying that, because that just means that you really have no idea who is sick and who is not. And normally I wouldn't take this thing so seriously, but me being a person who works on the front lines and has to deal with the risk or the possibility of the risk of this being something that I catch and then potentially bring home to my family, who, fact of the matter is some or none of us could possibly survive this. But I just want to go over a couple points. Precautions. And I'm not talking about just Giant, I'm talking about all grocery stores. I've seen a lot of them change hours. They close earlier. They have people overnight, night crew, to do cleaning, stocking of the things that the customer, you people, usually come in for. And, it's a great thing to do, because most of these places are either 24 hours or they're open until like midnight, so that doesn't really leave a lot of time for cleaning. And it's not, like I said, it's not just Giant. I've seen multiple places do this, but I hate to say it, but the grocery stores are pretty much doing all that they can do. And the other part of that is how everybody else handles the situation. But I will get to that in another point. Also with the precautions, I feel like it's enough. I mean, it's kind of like a 50-50 where, they cover their part, we have to do our part. In a nutshell, that's the best way to put how grocery stores are dealing with the spread. The precautions that they're taking to make sure that it doesn't happen. Giant has a thing going on, I don't know if other stores are doing it, but between 6 and 7 a.m., they are allowing the elderly people to come in and shop. Younger people aren't supposed to come in. This is a time specifically reserved for the older clientele. I think it's a great idea to have that time where they can feel safe, but at the same time, I don't think it's a great idea because, unfortunately, people with weakened immune systems and autoimmune diseases and older people, are more susceptible. So having them all combined together in one place, you just don't know. Like I said, with the statistic of only 25% of them show symptoms, that's a big issue. I mean, you have to kind of gauge people off of what you can read. Like I said, that's on everybody's part. So I want to talk real quick about precautions that I personally take when it comes to this. I've invested in, Airborne. I take them pretty much every day before I go to work. I work out. I lift my weight. I do my push-ups. I try to stay hydrated, drink as much as I can, and I also try to eat properly, at least eat well, so that I'm full, so that I'm not weakened in any kind of sense. And I think a lot of people should be trying to take more precautions as far as, things like that. Because it is, I feel like, an overall health thing. Overall you have to be doing good mentally and physically to feel good mentally and physically. And if you're not in one aspect, I feel like this is the type of sickness that could kind of attack you while one guard is down. But it's what I do for preparation is not much more out of the way of my everyday normal routine. I've just started kind of working out recently. I've been sticking to it, which I'm proud of myself for. Same with staying hydrated and eating, because I don't necessarily do either sometimes, and keeping up on that. I've been feeling pretty good. Like, I don't feel sick. I don't have stuffy nose, cough, anything like that. So overall, I'm personally happy with my overall health, being a worker who's on the forefront of this pandemic that's going on. The second to last point I would like to bring up that I have in my little outline is, are we getting paid enough? You know, I can be a possessive person, but I'm the kind of person who I would rather do something I enjoy over than be in it just for the money. And I feel like this is a time where people like us, and I don't mean just retail grocery workers, I mean everybody who wasn't shut down, we should be getting some kind of hazard pay. Luckily for me and the people who work at Giant's giving us $2 more an hour for a little while until this is over, at least from what I understand, which is nice, but it's still not a ton more for me personally. I just honestly think, even if it's not pay, it should be like extra vacation time, some kind of compensation. And I don't mean that in a greedy or personal way, but I mean, the way I look at it is, with all these other places closed, there's only so many places that people can go. So by working there, you're inadvertently almost guaranteed to either come across people, customers, associates within that stores that are going to have it or could be around it. Or you also have the customer who are all coming together in one area at the same time. They said it's bound to happen, and it really makes me feel uneasy working. I go to work and do my job because that's what I do, and I act like it doesn't faze me, but I have a kid at home. I have a parent who's over 50 at home. I'm not trying to bring this home so either one of them can get sick. I'm not trying to get sick myself. There's just some days when I go to work, I contemplate whether the risk of me coming in is worth the money or not. Because, I've been at my job since August. I don't have any vacation time or anything like that. So, what's going to happen if I start missing work or not coming in? Because, the economy is pretty much like tanking right now. I've been watching videos and reading articles and whatnot on this, and just currently what's going on right now is scary. Looking into the aftermath of what is to come is what scares me. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is the toll that this all takes, being a person who, like I said, is out there, ground zero, front lines, having to deal with the risk of being exposed at any given moment at any given time by any person. I also have that's like end of the day concerns, so things that I'm concerned about. Like I just said, the most thing I'm concerned about is, we're out here working. By me, I mean everybody. Like I said, everybody who's still working. we do our jobs because we love to help people. We love that the return that we get from helping people, the goodness, like that's when it comes down to it, that's what our jobs are about, and that's why we come in. That's why we continue to come in, regardless of ours and countless other people we're associated with in our lives' safety. Like I said, yes, in my case, in Giant's case, we are getting a little bit extra. Is it enough? No. Could I be greedy and say more? Absolutely. But like I said, it's not, it's just that it's the principle. We as a people are going to be run down by the time that the economy and society gets back to where it needs to be and where it once was. And everybody else has been off. We continue to work through that, and then the way I look at it is by the time everybody comes back, everybody's going to have to work twice as hard. We're going to have to continue to keep coming in and doing what we do every day and just hope that we don't get infected by this virus that's going around affecting so many people. And the worst part of it is it still hasn't peaked. They're saying within the next 2 weeks they expect it to peak. Up until now, I haven't heard of any people locally who have had it, but since then, every day, it's just getting closer and closer to my doorstep. And, I'm not going to lie, I'm prepared for the worst. I have supplies and stuff like that ready. But the thing that scares me is the lengths that people are going to go to get what you have or get what they need if it comes to that. I know I'm thinking a little out of hand, but these are perilous times where people are going to take risks. People are going to do whatever they have to get what they need. And if it hasn't gotten worse yet, I can only picture it is going to. And, even at my job now, we have security guards. We have people who just walk around the store and make sure nothing like that happens. And it's just a big safety thing for me. It's something that, in my mind, I know I should overcome for the safety and well-being of myself and family and others around me. But at the same time, I have to go out and potentially be exposed to it because I have to work. Because I have a job that's open during this. If I were to quit or something, I most likely wouldn't be able to collect unemployment, and nor do I want to. I like to work. I can say, if we're going to get through this, and I mean this coming from retail workers, stay home. If you do have to shop, like they say in the guidelines, one person per family, don't take your kids out. Like, take them outside for walks in the neighborhood or your backyard or whatever, but don't take them to public areas, especially not grocery stores. Wash your hands. Even if you find you are a cleanly person like myself, just take a little bit of initiative, do an extra step. That's what I've been doing, and I don't know if I'll be able to stop after this. And the last thing that you can do is practice social distancing. Because one thing I notice is, we have announcements every 10 minutes that tell you these guidelines. Do people follow them? No. People come right in your face, basically still, because they need to get what they want. And they need to enforce that and tighten down on that. Not just for customer safety, but for our safety as well. That was my little spiel on my outlook of working during this, through these perilous times. Fellow retail workers, if you've seen or have any bad experiences to this, I would like to know. I'm going to wrap it up. Hopefully next time I'll have something a little bit more uplifting, but this was just an idea that I had that was one of those ones I had to get out. But like the video, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give me your thoughts, anything. I love hearing from people and talking to people. And until next time, I'll catch you guys. And please be safe and take care of yourselves and each other out there.